Hey, everybody. Welcome to 7 Minute Health Chat with Robin and Kim. Today, we're going to talk about cancer prevention because this month is World Cancer Prevention Month. And February 4th is World Cancer Day. So, just a couple little tidbits before, and I know this sounds like a not great subject, but we're going to give you ways that you can take charge of your health to help prevent, hopefully prevent cancer, because there's lots of things that you can't avoid that are out there, unfortunately. So first things first, cancer is the world's leading cause of death. So that's globally, world's leading cause of death. That's craziness. And there are more than 100 types of cancers. And I didn't realize that there were like a hundred, right? I think you think of like, breast cancer, lung cancer, like the typical ones that you hear the most, but
Right, the main ones.
yeah, there are more than 100. So I'm going to give you just a list. I'm going to read my little list here of some of the ways that you can help prevent. And I also have these on my Get Fit with Robin page too. And if you're not on my page, you should be. So anyway, so what we can do is 300 minutes of moderate exercise a week. So get moving. Avoid alcohol. And if you're going to drink alcohol, because listen, I like alcohol just as much as anyone else, right? Socially, no more than 1 5-ounce serving for women a day, and no more than 2 for men. Now, do I think you should drink alcohol every single day? No, I do not, but that's none of my business. So, but try to avoid alcohol. Maintain a healthy weight. You'll do that by your movement and by your nutrition. Plant-based nutrition is best. You really want to stay away from processed foods, and Kim's going to go more into that in a second.
Yep.
Cut out sugar and sugar substitute. We cannot stress that enough. And people get so angry about that.
I know. You may have heard that sugar feeds cancer. And so that's one thing to keep in mind.
Yeah. Limit red and processed meats. Limit sedentary behavior. Don't smoke. I'll say that again. Don't smoke, right?
That's a big one.
And stay on top of your cancer screenings. And I really want to say this is from a personal, point of view. Get your screenings done, because my mother-in-law never wanted to get her colonoscopy, you guys, and she got appendix cancer. And had she had her colonoscopy, they would have found it. So,
wow.
I know colonoscopies suck, like literally they suck, but get them done when you're supposed to get them done, preventative, and get those mammograms done, because if you catch something early, your chances of survival are so much better.
Let me say one thing about that, because I have a friend, a fellow fitness instructor. She's 45, look at her, epitome of health. And she got a colonoscopy recently because they say the new number, I think, is 40 now to get it, or 45 to get a colonoscopy now.
I think you're right.
And so she got one. And so she just had a friend pass away of colon cancer, a young gal friend. And she got it, and they found 2 masses in her.
Wow.
That the doctor said, if you had waited till you were 50 to get this done, it would probably been too late.
Oh
so
my
I'm like,
gosh.
oh my gosh. And she looks the epitome of health.
Good. Well,
So,
I mean,
anyway,
right. I see what you're saying. Right.
So,
you can think, but yeah.
Anyway,
and not to scare people, but
right.
just, be cognizant of that. So,
right.
And then the last thing that I'll talk about, and I really like this point, is community action. So get involved in your community. Help your community make healthy foods available to underprivileged people. Get involved in what is it when you make the gardens, the community gardens, growing healthy food. You meet other people. Socialization is a really good thing too. That's a whole other subject. But getting involved with healthy foods and learning about them. And then with parks and sidewalks and walking paths, be interested in and involved in things like that, because it not only helps you, but it helps your whole community to be healthier. And I liked that aspect of what I was reading when I was researching. So anyway,
Yeah.
that's my information for you guys. Take it or leave it. And here's Kim's.
Yeah. So what I just want to add to that, I think it was all great stuff, what you said, Robin. And there's a great book that I recommend, and Robin's going to show you the title of it. It is called Eat to Beat Disease. It's by Dr. William Li. And he's an MD who has not only developed drugs for cancer to treat cancer, but he's also studied food as medicine to fight cancer as well. And in his book, which I love, he talks about cancer preventing foods and cancer, what to eat if you've got cancer. And so really good, well searched, well thorough, and I recommend you follow him. You can follow him on Facebook under Dr. William Li, or you can also follow him on Instagram. He does a lot of great posts, and I think he's on LinkedIn. I don't know if he's on TikTok, but anyway, he's a great one to follow. But TikTok can take you down a whole nother rabbit hole. But
oh yeah,
I digress. But he talks about the biggest things he talks about, which I do, is green tea. I don't have my little packet with me, but I do a little packet of. It's by Peak Tea. I'll put a photo of it in the comments. But he talks about green tea because it's got ECGC in it. It's cancer fighting, and it is like one of the things to help prevent cancer. And I like to pour it in a little packet in my cold water. I don't make it hot. I drink it in cold water. I add it to my container and drink it that way. I make sure I get it every day. Second of all, dark chocolate. Who doesn't love dark chocolate? You know, especially the 70% cacao. We talked about that last week on National Dark Chocolate Day. And then nuts and seeds are super healthy. Walnuts in particular, but many of as long as they're raw, maybe with a little bit of salt added, but make sure they're not cooked in bad seed oils. That's a no bueno.
Right.
Cruciferous vegetables, particularly broccoli. Broccoli is high in sulforaphane, which is a cancer preventer, cancer fighter. And so, and having it cooked actually releases more of the sulforaphane rather than eating it raw. So we always lightly roast it with extra virgin olive oil. Sometimes we saute it in extra virgin or in ghee. I'll do ghee too. And so those are some easy ways to get to fight it, to prevent it. And let me tell you one other quick thing I learned in this book that was really interesting. We all have little cancers in our body. The key is, he calls the term angiogenesis. That's the blood vessels. You don't want the blood vessels to connect to those cancers and start feeding them. So that's why it's very important to keep when you eat well and when you take care of yourself, you're not gonna allow that to happen. So very important. And I would highly recommend you read the book because it's such a great book anyway.
So does he relate that? What was the word you used?
Angiogenesis.
So does he relate that to like heredity, like with cancers too? Because I know some cancers are, right, you're more susceptible because of heredity.
Right. He says more so it's lifestyle driven. Cancers are lifestyle driven.
More so.
We live in a toxic world. There's no question about it. In our food system, it is toxic. And
it's scary.
It is scary. It's like, I almost know too much because I feel like, anyway, I could talk on that for hours.
I know.
That's another subject. But also with our products, with stuff in the air, with our pesticides, with, if you have somebody come and spray your yard in the summer, and your animals are out in that, you're out in that, that's another reason why they say don't wear shoes in the house, because you can track that stuff in your house. But with our cosmetics, our perfumes, our cleaning supplies, many of them have endocrine disruptors in there. And so we want to make sure we limit those as much as possible. So just taking care of yourself, just doing the right things. It's simple. It's not that hard. The problem is that we're so, the processed foods are in our face daily.
Well, we're so used to it. It's just like,
foods.
And if you don't educate yourself and you're not open to learning more and making changes, it's a lot harder to accept. Yeah.
Right. So anyway,
Anyway,
anything you can do to keep it, nobody wants to get cancer. I mean,
no.
believe me, I
Ugh.
just had a dear friend pass away from cancer, and it's an ugly way to die. And, do whatever you can to prevent it, because believe me, you don't want to get it. So
And
on that
listen,
happy note,
you don't have to do everything all at once. Like everything that I listed there, you don't have to do it. Like pick a few things and start slow, just like everything else, just like exercise.
Mhm.
Anything that you're going to change in your life. I mean, get the 300 minutes of moderate exercise and maybe eat more walnuts. The next month, do something
good for your
else.
brain too.
One thing is better than nothing. So
Absolutely.
anyway.
All right. Well,
All
thank you,
right.
Robin.
Yep.
And have a great day, everybody. We'll talk to you later.
All right.
Bye-bye.
See ya.